Good evening, YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. I hope all of you are happy and healthy, prosperous and well this evening. Right now the time is approximately 11:20 p.m. Eastern Time, and the date is Wednesday, September 30th, 2020. Tonight is the night of the bright moon in Aries. It is the night before the full moon in Aries. Fun fact, October 2020 has two full moons. The first one is tomorrow, Thursday, October 1st, 2020, which is a full moon in Aries. And the second one is a blue moon, or a full moon in Taurus, on Saturday, October 31st, 2020. And the last time we had a full moon on Samhain, or as non-witches refer to, Halloween, although my fellow witches, pagans, and magical practitioners call it Samhain, was in 2001. So 19 years have gone by since there was a full moon on Samhain, and it's interesting because here is the full moon, and and 19 would correspond to Trump 19, as in the Sun card of the Sacred Tarot. So I find that interesting. I don't remember offhand if I read anything in the last few months that said that the next full moon would be 19 years from now. But, because the moon is very cyclical. She definitely has her own orbit. Anyway, speaking of moon, this is the October 2020 video for... This is rather the video for the October 2020 entry for the Many Moons 2020 Lunar Planner. And of course, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the cover of this beautiful calendar that has served me so beautifully well this year. This calendar has served me even better than the 2019 edition, and I can only imagine how much better the 2021 edition will serve me. And by the way, I will include in the description box the link to pre-order your own copy of the Many Moons 2021 Lunar Planner. But, put on my eyes, tarot or oracle card pulled for the month. Pull one card or a series of cards for this month. Suggested spread. How to best harness my magic. That's card number 1. Card number 2, how to step into my power. Card number 3, what must be sacrificed under the dark moon, which, by the way, the dark moon in Libra, and I'm going to turn to my trusty copy of Llewellyn's 2020 Daily Planetary Guide, is on Thursday, October 15th, 2020. It is the night before the new moon in Libra on Friday, October 16th, 2020. And so the card number 3 is what must be sacrificed under the dark moon, and that would be the dark moon in October. So that would be the night of Thursday, October 15th, 2020. And the 4th card is what will be transformed under conscious creation. I love that. And I am going to use a deck that I don't think I have ever used in a client's reading before. And I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the cover of the box. But I want to read to you, the name of the deck is called The Witch's Oracle. It is a 45 card deck, and it was created by, I'm gonna use the guidebook because I'm having difficulty making out the text on the cover of the box. So, The Witch's Oracle by Marla Brooks and Aunia Khan. Yes, Marla Brooks and Aunia Khan, who is the illustrator, Ms. Khan. And it was published by Schiffer Publishing, and it is copyrighted 2015. I've always wanted to use it, and I always felt led to use it around Samhain, but there are several tarot and oracle card decks that based on their imagery, based on their title, based on several factors, it would be ideal to use for readings in October, especially around Samhaintide, and it never happens. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to use it whenever I use it. So, I am going to give the deck... I'm so sorry. I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the cover of the box. And after the cover of the box, I'm going to have him do a close-up of the back of the box. And here you go. And now I'm going to have him do a close-up of the cover of the accompanying guidebook, as well as the back of that as well. This is the cover of the guidebook, and this is the back of the cover of the guidebook, which is beautiful. I love this shadow and light pentacle imagery. So yeah, so that is that. And then, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the deck a quick shuffle. And by the way, the cards are a little bit smaller than standard size for an oracle card deck. And it's interesting because I just noticed that one of the cards is upside down or reversed. Those of you that have had readings with me, you know that I almost never use reversed cards. So the fact that I'm shuffling this oracle card deck again is good. And that tells me that I did not fully cleanse it from the previous reading. So I'm glad that I'm giving this another shuffle now. I will include a link to this deck in the description box. If there is no link, it means it's out of print. And I don't know if it's still in print. So this will be like homework for me. Or as I would say, a sacred play assignment, or a SPA for short. Okay. And I'm going to cut the deck. And in the interest of convenience for both my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos and yours truly, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, I'm going to hold up each card. Eventually, I will go back to using a platform like a table to use to cast the cards. But for now, I'm going to use this. Okay, so let me put you here. Okay, so card number 1. How to best harness my magic. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show all of you the back of the card design, and I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the back of the card design. It's very gothic. Those of you that are drawn to the gothic aesthetic, this is definitely a deck for you to consider. I'm going to show you the front of the card, and then I'm going to show me the front of the card, and I presume that my awesome audiovisual person, you've done close-ups of both the back of the card and the front of the card. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to look at the card and interpret it. Salamander, how very appropriate for the night before the full moon in Aries. So the salamanders are the fire elemental. So the card's description is how to best harness my magic. That's through fire. Fire. So burn those candles. Stoke up that fire in your belly. The fire in the belly. You might even want to do something physically active as a way of stoking the fire of your magic. You might want to dance, you might want to have sex, you might want to do stretches, you might want to climb stairs, but do something that physically invigorates your body. Of course, if you're going to do this for a midnight ritual, you might want to do some cool down, take some herbal tea if you're medically cleared for herbal tea, because you might stoke yourself up so that you have difficulty sleeping. Although I must admit, I think that even if I did not have a history of insomnia, I probably would have a lot of difficulty sleeping on the night before the night of a full moon, because it's happened before. So one of the best ways to harness your magic is with fire, and definitely candles. Candles are synonymous with the fire element in magic and witchcraft. Of course, it also depends on your ritual. One of the traditional Aries colors is red. So burning a red candle as a way of tuning into the full moon and Aries energy is very appropriate. If you feel led to use another color, you might want to consider fire sign colors. Reds, oranges, yellows, metallic gold, metallic rose gold, anything fiery. So that's the first card. So I'm going to put these cards over here. Card number 2. How to step into my power. Every once in a while with some of these spreads, I really get the sense of a pivotal card. So I really feel like this is the pivotal card for this spread. I'll let you decide if it's pivotal for you, but intuitively I'm getting this is pivotal for me. And of course, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of this card, and then I will look at the card and I'll interpret it. So, the card's position is how to step into my power. How to step into my power. Or in this case, since I'm casting the cards for all of you in YouTube land, how do you step into your power? Magic wand. And it's not a coincidence that in the sacred tarot, the wands traditionally correspond to the fire signs. Although in some tarot decks, and specifically some Wiccan-oriented tarot decks, it's the element of air. But I'm going with the element of fire with this. So, how to best step into your power. Magic wand. And it's so funny because I actually have a wand, and let me see if it's still in this. Yes, it's still in this vicinity. So one of the things that I love about Catland is that, aside from being one of the in-store readers, is that I definitely love that they have magical tools. And I remember, and I acknowledge this, I remember there was this gorgeous wand, and I was like, I want that. So I put the whammy on it so that nobody would buy it but me. And I want to show it to you. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It is capped with a single terminated, or rather it is topped with a single terminated smoky quartz, and there is a smoky quartz at the bottom that's like a cabochon style shape. I'm going to have and it's wrapped in copper. So, and it's bamboo. So I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the wand. And this is the top of the wand, obviously, and this is the bottom of the wand. And I will tell you, I love this wand. It really resonates with me. And it just so happens that smoky quartz is one of the crystals astrologically aligned with the sun sign Capricorn, which is my sun sign. Ooh, you got power. You know, I've been needing to cleanse this for a while, but all of a sudden I felt the energy and the magic of this wand. So to you, I'm going to say, if you do not have a wand, this may be a good time for you to buy one. This may be a good time for you to treat yourself to one. Now, I will acknowledge the Priestess of Grove Argentum, which is a magical grove of which I have the honor and pleasure of being an initiated companion. It is a Manhattan-based chapter of the International Fellowship of the Goddess Isis. The priestess has said on numerous occasions over the years that a witch is supposed to make their own magical tools. I completely agree with her. I really do. However, sometimes it is just more convenient to buy somebody else's magical tools for you. And this is a level of skill that I do not have. The craftsmanship is beautiful. The way they prepared the bamboo wood is gorgeous. The energy that's radiating from the smoky quartz crystals is just gorgeous. But this is not a skill that I have. I acknowledge that. I do not criticize that. It's just, you know, I don't have that skill set. It's a lovely skill set, but it's not my forte. But I have been needing to cleanse this and charge this up, and I have a feeling that it's already happening, because all of a sudden it's like, ooh, this got power. I love saying that, this got power. Because sometimes, you know, things got power. Not power, not magic, they got power. I love saying that, it makes me so excited. Okay, so. Card number 3. What must be sacrificed under the dark moon? And again, the dark moon is on Thursday, October 15th, 2020. It is a dark moon in Libra, because the new moon is a new moon in Libra. So I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the card. I want to show all of you the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous back of the card design, which for those of you that have a gothic aesthetic is perfect for you. I'm going to show you the front of the card. And again, the card is what must be sacrificed under the dark moon. So this card represents what must be sacrificed under the dark moon. The skull. Skulls are synonymous with death because they are a part of the skeletal system. So you might want to sacrifice any fears that you have of death, of dying, of dis-ease, any fears that you have that you're going to lose everything, any fears that you have of being harmed or maimed or injured in some way. Also, you know, I mean, let's face it, things can get very spooky around Samhain-tide, around Halloween-tide. So, you have all the horror movie marathons, and, there's a new um, reiteration of The Craft coming out. It's called The Craft Legacy. I still have mixed feelings about it because I know that a lot of people dig that movie, The Craft. But, when I saw one of the characters changing her hair color with magic, I was just like, I know that I rolled my eyes. I'm surprised I didn't roll myself onto the floor with the intensity with which I rolled my eyes. But I digress. And some of you are thinking that's another topic for another video for another day. No, it's not. I don't want to talk about it. So what else is scaring that you need to sacrifice under this upcoming dark moon? What really integral, deep, nitty-gritty, dark and dirty fear do you need to sacrifice under this upcoming dark moon? What is it that really scares you? What is the thing that is more afraid of the things under the bed? Hello, Bast. Please don't knock anything down. She didn't knock anything down. Good girl, I love you. I love you. I love that you did that. You didn't knock anything down. Good for you. Okay. Card number 4. What will be transformed under conscious creation? Let me read that one more time, but a little more slowly. What will be transformed under conscious creation? So this is the thing that you have the power to transform under your own magic, under your own power. So again, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the card, and then I'm going to look at the card and interpret it. Besom. So, and it's so funny. First of all, the besom is a magical tool, and it is used to sweep away negative energy. It is used to sweep away any psychic or energetic debris. And I couldn't help but chuckle because earlier today I was mopping the floors. Yesterday I had mopped the floor of the bedroom, the bathroom, and the hallway, and today I mopped the floor of the kitchen and the living room. And one of the things that my awesome audiovisual person and I were talking about is buying a new broom and dust pan set. Dust pan. I'm not saying. I forgot what the other thing is called. I almost never use it, so Anyway, but we were talking about how the floor needs to be swept, and sure enough, here comes the besom. So I'm gonna say that, and when it comes to a besom, I don't have one personally. I don't. I'm very picky about besoms. I have not found a besom that really speaks to me energetically, that really speaks to me magically. There are so many gorgeous ones out there. I've seen, I can honestly say that every besom that I've ever seen is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's beautifully constructed. And I know that some of them usually have an herb or a spice like cinnamon. So, there's so many great ones out there. And I think that Notions and Potions has a few in the store, like they're miniature ones, but they're beautiful. They're beautifully designed and beautifully constructed, and they got magic for sure. But I've never seen a besom that was like, this draws me. So I'm going to say to you 2 things. Number 1, definitely clean. If you need to sweep the floors, sweep the floors. If you need to mop the floors, mop the floors. If there's something that you've been reluctant to clear out and clean out, this is a good time to finally do it. I know that one of the things, I happen to love pillows. I have had pillows that were gifts over the years, but there are some that, as much as I love them, as much as I love how fluffy and comfortable they are, several of the cats have peed on them. And the fact of the matter is that even after washing them, they still they're kind of a little stinky still. So I've decided that, I'm just going to get rid of all those pillows, and it's okay, because I haven't used them in a long time. I keep putting off, washing them again. I keep putting off, and because it's just I already know that I'm not meant to keep them. You know, they just need to go so that I can bring fresher energy, or rather fresher magic, into my home. And, you know, I had good intentions with regards to the pillows, but, you know, they're just a little too stinky and they're a little too old. And you know what? I deserve brand new pillows. So there you go. So I'm going to say that's number one. So if there's anything that you're holding on to that no longer serves your needs, that no longer fits the right way, that no longer looks good on you, that no longer makes you feel magical, powerful, glamorous, beautiful, handsome, sexy, virile, wealthy, opulent, then get rid of it. Get rid of it. You know, I had an amazing friend and client and student, and I remember she was reluctant to sell or dispose of this pair of diamond earrings, which were given to her by her first husband. And I remember I said to her, one of the most amazing and powerful things that I've ever learned regarding magic is that whenever we have something that was given to us by somebody else that is no longer a part of our lives, it prevents us from surrendering and releasing and dissolving the grief. You know, a perfect example, let's pretend that this is a scarf. It's not a scarf, by the way. It's actually the flat sheet of the sheet set that I use for my chair, because it just makes a part of my back, you know, more comfortable and less prone to getting scratched up and stuff. So let's say this was a scarf that somebody else gave me. Let's say somebody that I was dating gave me this beautiful, gorgeous, opulent scarf. And then he decided to end his relationship with me. And I'm heartbroken, and I'm sad, and I'm grieving. And I want to keep this beautiful scarf because it's purple, because it's soft, because it actually does keep me warm, and it's very comforting. The longer that I hold on to this thing that can be wrapped around me, you know, this thing that can be wrapped around me, the more I'm going to grieve, the more I'm going to remain in sadness and despair, and the more stuck I'm going to remain, so that I cannot move forward. If anything can be wrapped around you, a ring, a bracelet, a pendant, a necklace, a scarf, if anything can be wrapped around you and it was given to you by somebody else who is no longer in your life, and that person broke your heart and trashed your soul, you owe it to yourself to get rid of it. The earrings were clip-on, so they actually formed a ring around the earlobe. She finally sold them. She sold them for a little bit less than what they were worth, but as soon as she got rid of them, as soon as they were out of her home and out of her life, she began to feel happier. She began to be physically and emotionally healthier. She began to feel more at peace with all of life, and she actually physically manifested a new romantic relationship not too long after that. I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 months or so, something like that. She needed the time for extra healing. Believe me, she did. So it makes me happy that she finally got rid of something that was no longer serving her needs. She didn't wear them anymore. She didn't look at them because she didn't want to look at them. And it just made her so happy that she finally no longer had them. And of course, her new romantic relationship made her even happier. Anyway, so, and if you feel divinely guided to buy a besom, do it. Find the right one for you and buy it. I do not have that skill set as well. It's a wonderful skill set. It's a very involved skill set, but I would be more inclined. But as soon as I find a besom that really appeals to me and resonates with me magically and energetically, I'm buying it. Who knows? I might even find it before the end of the year. You never know. And the final message card is from the bottom of the deck. I actually talked about this in the previous video of the October 2020 entry for Llewellyn's 2020 tarot calendar. But I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the final message card, which is the bottommost card of the remaining cards of the deck. And then I'm going to look at the card and tell you what the final message is. Is it upside down? It's the one that's upside down. Yeah, okay, I didn't even know that. So I'm going to interpret it as a reversed card, because even though I almost never interpret reversed cards, even though I almost never have them in my readings, I feel that it needs to be interpreted as a reversed card. Now, here's my policy on reversed cards, and it was actually one of the articles that the Mary K. Greer, wrote in one of Llewellyn's tarot readers. I'm sure that I haven't shown you the copies that I have because they really look nasty and disgusting. But the fact of the matter is that they're no longer in print, and I really don't feel like paying $500 for one of them. So, but prior to Llewellyn's tarot-themed wall calendars, the last time that Llewellyn Publications published a tarot-themed annual was 10 years ago. So it was 2009, or rather 10 years prior to the first. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm standing corrected. 2008. So the last time that Llewellyn Publishing had published a tarot-themed annual was 2008. 10 years later, they publish, or actually 9.5 years later, they publish Llewellyn's 2018 tarot calendar. So now you know another reason why I am so hell-bent on so many people buying the Llewellyn's tarot-themed wall calendars, because, you know, I want there to be at least one more. After 2022's edition, if they stop publishing, I'm at peace with it. Totally. So, because of that article that Mary Kay Greer wrote in one of those Llewellyn's tarot readers, I only interpret a reversed card from the perspective of blocked energy. And it's so funny because occasionally I will interpret a reversed card in a tarot deck, but almost never in an oracle card deck. So the fact that the one card that is upside down, that is reversed, is the final message card is not a coincidence. So I'm going to, and after I finish interpreting it, I will hold it up upright so that my awesome audiovisual person can do one final close-up. So the card is, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So, funny story. So when I first began diving deeper into the ancient Egyptian or the Kemetic pantheon, I learned that some of the names of some of the most well-known of Egyptian goddesses and gods are the Greco-Roman names. For example, Osset is one of the ancient Egyptian names for the goddess more commonly known as Isis. And by the way, another fun fact, years ago, I remember in a meditation, she said to me, I want you to call me by one of my ancient names. And the first one that came into my mind was Osset. And then a few years after she said that to me, what do we start hearing about? That terrorist organization, ISIS. I was just like, oh my goddess, you are so wise. And of course, my goddess is so wise. So this is the card that came out reversed. So it's about blocked energy. Now the other fun fact is that the Eye of Horus is also known as the Eye of Ra. And when I first began taking a deep dive into a divination deck called The Book of Doors, an alchemical oracle from ancient Egypt by Athon Veggie and Susan, oh, I forgot her last name. I'll include it in the description box. I want to say Susan Harrison, but I don't think that's it. It said that the phoenix was called the Bennu by the ancient Egyptians. The Bennu is the heart and soul of Ra, as in the Eye of Ra. And the, sorry, Bast, she had a zoomie, and you know I kind of bumped into her. Well, she actually bumped into my foot. It was a mutual collision thing. So when I first began thinking about, and I did not know this at the time that I was thinking about creating a company name for myself. And by the way, I have already, well, I bet the name has been in existence for years, but I never use it. But it is a very appropriate name. So, what is the reversed Eye of Horus? It doesn't even say Eye of Ra, it says Eye of Horus. I know it is the Eye of Ra. This is so funny. This is such a wild, wild trip, I'm telling you. I'm feeling the effects of this bright moon in Aries for sure. So the reversed Eye of, I'm going to call it the Eye of Ra, is saying to me, be mindful of what is at your core essence. Be mindful, be very mindful, like really for the entire month of October, from tomorrow, Thursday, October 1st, through Saturday, October 31st, 2020, be especially mindful about your magic, about your surroundings, about the things that you love, about your core essence. your core essence. And remember, the Eye of Ra is a protection symbol. In many ancient civilizations, an eye was a protective symbol. So this leads me to believe that one of the things that you're not paying attention to is something that is sacred to you, or someone, as the case may be, but something that is sacred to you that you're not protecting, that you're not safeguarding. So whatever that thing is, begin to safeguard it right away. And now I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the upright Eye of Ra card. I'm not calling it the Eye of Horus. I know it says Eye of Horus. I'm calling it the Eye of Ra because that's what it is to me. So the Eye of Ra, yes. Beautiful design of the Eye of Ra. It has this like curlicued, stylized thing going on. YouTube, as always, thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the likes, for the shares, for the comments, for the subscriptions. Thank you to those of you who have already had readings with me in 2020, the year of a solid, balanced foundation. And thank you especially to those of you who are going to take the deep dive and have a reading with me between now and February 2021. I wish all of you many mountains of beautiful blessings, and stay tuned to the next video.